Hi, everybody. This is Nurturing Connections. My name is Titi Ayegbeni. This is my husband. Introduce yourself.
My name is Abdul Ayubin.
And this is our firstborn, Farida. Introduce yourself.
Farida Aiken.
Can you speak up?
My name is Farida Aiken.
Okay. She's going to be 15 this year. So we have a discussion that we talked about and we decided, okay, let's throw it open. Let's hear other people's opinion about it. We came online and we got this somebody talking about not getting an advice, a marriage advice from somebody like Elon Musk because he has failed in his marriages. Fine, he has failed. Person said, or I rather take advice from him on business because he has done very well in business in terms of Tesla and all that. But why I have a different opinion about it is, do we now say that you can't allow a guy now deliver you because that guy now has not been pregnant before? Does that sound okay?
No, 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 no. We are mixing it up.
Okay.
A Ghana who has not delivered any baby before, that is just green from the medical school. That's what you should say. Not a Ghana who is not married or who has not. No, no, no.
It's the same thing.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
How is it not? If I can't take advice from somebody who has a failed marriage, that means you can't allow
We are
somebody.
talking about marriage here. Marriage, and he has been into marriage
And
he
he
has
has
failed.
So he can't give you marital advice.
Yes, that's what that person said. But in this case, a Ghana who is not married is not.
We're not
does
talking
not-
of. It's not about
or
marriage now.
who's-
Who hasn't had a child? Who, of
Okay,
course, who
what
has not
about
been
a male?
pregnant?
What about
That
a
is
male
it.
Ghana?
That's what I'm saying.
So it should be the statement should be a Ghana who has not delivered a baby before.
Okay. So it has
Who
to
has
be
not delivered
a
a
Ghana
baby
who has not delivered a baby before.
before, not a Ghana
Okay.
who is no.
Okay. What about somebody who is a relationship coach or a family therapist that has not been married before? Can you now say that you can take advice from that person? But that person hasn't gone through marriage, so that person doesn't have the experience of what marriage is.
Teachers that didn't study teaching.
Okay.
So why should we let them teach students if they didn't study teaching in the first place?
So
You are right. I'm not saying you are wrong, but from the perspective of that person who said he can, yes, that person too has a little bit of being right. Yes, somebody who has failed in one, not two marriages. Um, what kind of advice do you think that person can give you? That the advice might be very, very valuable. Yes, I'm not disputing that, but sometimes the kind of advice that person will give you will not work. Well, according to the context of that kind of advice, we can look at it from that angle if that advice will be valuable. But for someone who is a marriage therapist, that's his profession. That's what he went
To study.
to study to get trained for. So he's a professional. He or she is a professional in that aspect. We cannot say that person too will be 100% right because of the practical aspect of it, but that person will still be in a better position to give you a relationship advice than someone who has had two, three, or one, two, or three failed marriages.
but there are some people who would tell you that somebody who's not been married before should not be a relationship coach or a marriage coach specifically should not be a marriage coach because that person has not
Everybody,
gone through
every,
marriage. That person can
every,
give you
yes,
specific advice that will be beneficial to you. Okay, there's something I saw online. It's the man is a divorce lawyer. He's a big time divorce lawyer in the US and all that. And I was scrolling through the comment section, and people are saying that because he's a divorce lawyer, he can't give a comprehensive advice on marriage because he's a divorce lawyer.
You see, everybody has his own perspective of looking out for things. For example, for me, I have my perspective when I want to look out for things. I have what I look out for. Whatever I'm doing in life, whatever I want to do, whatever I want to embark upon, there are some things I need to put into consideration before I venture into it. So everybody in life have one thing or the other they look out for. So whatever he or she or me or anybody look out for might not might correlate or might not be the same. For example, I might like a purple, you might not like purple, she might not like purple, or she might like purple, or you might like purple. But sometimes it will be coincidence that we all like the same thing at the same time. But most of the time, what I like is quite different from what the other person like. You as my wife, what you like is not necessarily everything that I like. You
True.
understand? So, but because you are my wife, what you like, the onus is on me to like that thing because even though I never liked the thing before, but for peace to reign, it is
To
either
tolerate.
yes, I like that thing or I tolerate it so as well. Than the thing goes vice versa to my own end too. What I like and you don't like before, you will either
Are
tolerate
we?
it.
No, I think you're digressing here.
I understand what I'm saying. I deliberately digressed to that aspect. So I'm trying to bring out the issue of what people like and what they don't like. So in this issue now, in the case we are handling, I might not want a relationship coach who is not married. That is my preference. I might want it. It's also my preference. So we can't say it is totally wrong for that person who said it, and we can't say it is totally right. It's either one way. The man that said that is looking at it from one angle. So for you being
You're
a
simply looking
relationship,
at it from a different angle.
yes, for a relationship expert, the angle you looked at it is quite different from the angle that person is looking at it. He does not believe Elon Musk can give him a relationship advice because he failed, but he can give him.
But do
Uh,
you know the thing is, for me, I feel that because he has failed, there are some things that had made him fail. Those things can actually be learnt from. Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you understand where I'm coming from? Because somebody has failed in something doesn't make them bad at that thing. There are reasons for them to have failed. The thing is, are we going to look at those reasons? Those reasons can be something we can learn from in the process. Those things, when we see people fail at things, it can be a learning process for us. Yeah.
But does he even know what he like feel that? That's another question.
that's
Does
Oh,
the
yes,
person you're
that's a very
asking
good
for
question.
that advice know that they feel that thing?
Yes,
So
that's
it's only if the person is able to
stand
understand
that
that
he
thing.
has failed.
So in certain angles, the person is right in certain angles if you think about it.
Oh, okay,
Because he
okay.
doesn't even know, we don't even know whether he knows
He has failed.
what, yeah, he might think he's not even the problem. And the other people are the problem, that he's not the one that failed at something. So Yes, if you're coming at that angle, you have to actually like understand that does the person actually even know their mistakes? Does the person even know what they did that made it turn out bad? So
Yes,
how do you?
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. It's just that the overview of the whole thing, like the way we human beings are, like most people will say, okay, I can't take advice from this person because this person has failed or this person has not gone through that process, so I can't take advice from that. That's where me I am coming from. That do we necessarily have to take advice from somebody who has done that thing? There are some people who have been into marriages for 20, 25 years and yet they still get divorced. There are people who have been into marriages for like 20, 25 years, 30 years, that their marriage is having one problem or the other. Like they're having serious issues. But to the outside world, you might not know because you're not close to them. Do you understand? But you think, oh, at least they've been married for.
So I should get their advice.
Yes, like okay, they've been married for quite some time. I should get the advice from them. I can't get advice from someone who's just been married just a year or 2 years. What does that person know in marriage? Do you understand? Like we judge people, we judge as human beings based on what we see,
What we think,
what we think, not necessarily
what is.
what it is. Like not necessarily the right thing. But the fact that somebody is being married for 20 years, 30 years does not make that marriage right. But that's what I'm saying. That it doesn't mean that the marriage is perfect. Of course, no marriage is perfect anyway. But then somebody who's not even been married could have better advices
I
to
think
give.
I think you should just try to look at certain advice from like all different angles instead of just taking advice from one person. It's like if you were to watch a movie and you just look at one review. A lot of people listen to like a lot of other people's reviews to kind of like gauge what they think the movie will be about. Or if you want to install an app, you're looking at all the other reviews. You won't just look at one 5-star review and call it a day. You look at other reviews to like compare and contrast. So I think instead of judging and just going, yeah, you wouldn't take advice from one group of people or a certain person, you should now like consider every other angle, that whole spectrum, like consider every other perspective that someone could look at it.
I think I agree with what you said, but yes, I agree with you. It's just that the average human being is we don't look at from that perspective. It's always like, but
Just
no.
from our head.
Yes, like for the example you gave on when you actually have reviews on probably movies and everything. I have a perfect example in this house. My second daughter Faiza, when she's giving reviews on particular movies and everything, it's usually the reviews she has heard other people. So she's usually based her judgments on based on the reviews of other people. So it gives her like a judgment towards that movie. Not that it's what
Even if she
she.
hasn't watched it.
Yes. He helps to shape our judgment, and at the end
Yeah,
of the
but
day,
the review you said she listened to, it might be a person that he really knows how to review films very well, and
sometimes
she's
it's the
uh
wrong reviews she gets.
Because it's usually people like once you listen to one, people like that are listening. It's more like try to look at diverse angles, not just a certain
because
type of.
I like in the for film watching. There's this lady, she stays in UK, Olayinka. Anytime I see a review, it propel me to either watch that film or not to watch it. I really respect her review. So once I see, because she takes a review from top to the bottom of that, and she pieces the film for you to know. In fact, you will have even think you have watched the film already. And whatever she now says in that review, maybe some part of the negative or positive, you will start seeing all those things when you are watching
Because as
the
so many
film.
people, it's only because they've seen a review. There's a
Yes.
part of their brain is like, Oh,
Yes.
this is the bad thing the person mentioned. There are sometimes even without reviews, if you watch it, you might not even notice what the
You might not
person.
notice. Yes,
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 it's just your
yes,
yes,
brain because
yes,
yes.
you've
yes. Not
seen
that
it.
I have to wait for her before I watch film, but whenever see her
Stumble
own,
upon.
yes, stumble on a review, it makes me either to want to watch the film or stay clear of the film. Yes, it was one of this latest film about I am not going to mention the name of the film. I'm not. I know we are not going to do advert for any film here. Yes, it was a review of that film that has something about some women that made me to watch that film. So
Yes, I get what you're saying. Like I look forward to her reviews too. Yes, because she doesn't review based on emotions. She reviews based on facts. And the average human beings that does reviews usually do it based on emotions. Even when you
What if
talk
their favorite actors?
exactly, yes, their favorite actors and all that.
Or even games, if
Even
it's their
games,
favorite company that made the game, even
yes,
though the game might not be that
even
good.
phones. If it's if phone companies that they have
Huge
um
followings.
yes, even fashion and everything. It's just that that's the way human beings naturally tend to be. We tend to follow things that we're emotionally attached to. Yeah, I get that aspect of it. But on the long run, I'm saying that when we're looking at these options of saying
I think we shouldn't be too quick to judge.
exactly, like I can't take it's something that I see on every day. Like you come online, you see when people tell you things like, no, why should you take people even say it's not even on an online thing. Like when you're having conversations, I know somebody who will tell you that if you have a business, talk about business with him and everything, the first thing he ask you is, have you done it? The minute you tell him you have not done that business, he's not going to do it because he feels he has to see somebody who has done it first and succeeded. And for me, I feel that is how the what let me look, what word would I use now? I feel that is not really right because for everybody that starts business will always start from somewhere. If you're afraid of failure, that means you're not even ready to start. Certainly, some most big organizations always start from somewhere. I know somebody who was once the richest man in the world said he had read that he had done like a couple of businesses and he had failed. I think the business that made him to be the richest man was his 27th business or
between the
something,
25th and
and
the 26th,
27
yeah.
So
made him so you can imagine you saying that I can't take advice from that person.
Warren
when he
Buffett.
was still
Yes,
failing,
because when he was still failing.
and now he's
Now he was the richest man and everything. So
so
it was when he became the richest man, you
you
now
now
want
take the
to
advice.
take
So
advice
what's the
from
difference
him.
between the advice?
Exactly. So in my own view is do we judge people based on failures? Do we judge do we want to take advice from of people based on their
You see,
failures?
sorry, you see, you have a unique way of thinking, you. But human beings, how many billions do we have all over the world now?
I
A
don't
Eh,
know.
lot.
yes, human beings are in their
2 billion
billions.
upwards.
They are in their billions. And everybody has his own way of thinking. Yes, everybody. No two people think the same way. No two people. But because we belong to the same society, the same religion, the same movement, the same group, the same this, the same that, maybe our thinking might aligned together, but we will still not think the same way.
We have
So
same opinions on
yes,
something.
yes, yes. So most of the time opinions differ. Opinions differ from each other. You see, there are some people, no matter what you say, they will still not listen to someone who has had failed marriages, no matter for relationship sake, no matter what you say. Yours is unique. You are a coach, you are a relationship expert, so you believe not every failure should be crucified. It might be from the problem might not be from him, The problem might not be from her. The problem might be external forces that the two of them could not have control over.
Internal
Yes.
conflicts.
So many things like that. But for a person like for me, I might want to accept what you are saying. But for
Somebody
Mr. B,
else.
he will still not. So I
Because
don't
we're
want you to
always
look at it
focused
that
on
because you are the expert, whatever what you say or how you look at it, this is the no. Now, okay, for example, now we that are in this part of the world, Africa, we most men don't see why they should go to people like you. Most men here
for
don't see,
therapy.
yes, don't see why they should go. Even if they come once, maybe it's the wife that will come the second time, the man will not come. I'm not saying every man, but most men on this side of the world don't see why they should have therapy, don't know why they should even do it, don't accept it. Some people don't want to hear it. Even when they are wrong, there are many problems in marriages. Maybe they are trying to have a baby and they are not, and the man is the one that have a low sperm count, and he's not owning up. He's not owning up that he's the one that has the problem. And the external forces in the marriages, the male counterpart, the family of the male counterpart, sees that woman as the barren woman, and they will not. So if that kind of marriage fails, uh, who do you think will I want to take a marital advice from that kind of man? No.
But that means that is if you actually had know what happened. In
Yes.
if
most
you didn't
cases,
know,
in most
you would also ask
cases,
him for advice.
exactly. In most cases, you might not even know. That's what I'm saying. That's why I gave the example of okay, that people who are into marriages that are like 20 years. I know somebody who's been married for I think is it like 21, 22 years or thereabout. And their marriage is having serious issues. Not seen to the outside world. Like they're basically not they are like how would I put them now? Like co-tenants in the house and all that. And this is somebody who I know gives marital advice to other people. Yes, his marriage is having issues in the house. But the people outside do not see him from inside. They don't know what is happening in his
But that
marriage.
advice is given by
But
the right.
That's
but
all we're saying. So would you?
people will take it because they're not seeing him from the
Oh,
inside.
so because of the person they now see, they'll now not take advice when their advice might actually be the same
Exactly. He's
wavelength.
not using that
So
same advice in his own home, but he's giving that advice to somebody outside.
And
And
it's
that's
valuable.
and it's valuable. And people will now be like, oh, okay, I'll take advice from him. He's been married for over years and all that. Like
because they think
because
the
they think
marriage
the
is
marriage is
the best
okay.
marriage.
Exactly. Meanwhile, somebody who's been married for like a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, be like, oh, I can't take it. Well, what does this person know?
It's just 5 years.
It's just 5 years, compared to somebody who's been married for like 20 years, 25 years. We see marriages of 25, 30 years collapse, and you wonder what happened. Do you understand?
That's a lot of years. That's
Yeah.
older than me.
Yes, a lot of years. That's older than you. And if they had stayed that long, what then happened for them to now walk out of that
Maybe they were
marriage?
trying to tolerate each other for that long and they couldn't anymore.
Years that.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a lot of years. So that's why I'm saying that I think generally we need to learn to look at things from
Sometimes
different.
dark secrets can come up,
Yeah.
and
So that's why I'm saying that with I think
Instead of looking at one angle.
exactly instead of looking at one, instead of feeling like I can't take advice from this person because this person. I'm not saying that you can actually take advice from Elon Musk because definitely he had failed in 3 marriages and all that. Yeah, I can take business advices from him because he's been very good at that and all that. But then have we even now checked why his marriages failed? Could it be from trauma? Could it be is from his experiences? Could it be from? It could be from anything. That's by the way. So if we judge everybody by like, oh, I can't take advice from this person, my own opinion is that means I can't take advice from a guy now who hasn't been pregnant before, not talk of him being who has delivered a baby, who has had that feel of what pregnancy is and delivering a baby.
Or
So
a
that means
teacher,
that
or
means
a
I can't
visited
I can't have
teacher.
a male guy now, because certainly a male guy now can't even be pregnant in the first place and all that. That
And
is my
nobody
own.
questions that.
Yes, that's my own opinion. That means I can't take I can't take advice from a lawyer who's just out of law school, who hasn't practiced, to come and defend me in court. I mean, that person doesn't have the experience.
Well, the
Do you,
person went to school.
the person went to school. So that's what I'm saying, that if you say I can't take advice from this because of this, or I can't take advice from somebody who has failed in this certain business and all that, do you understand what I'm saying? That we're not looking at it from a broader perspective, like, okay, if this
They
person
need to start from somewhere. Yeah.
exactly, like everybody needs to start from somewhere. Okay, this person is not be married, is a coach. Yeah, okay, let's see. This is a professional thing. Let's see what this person has to
What's
say.
the name of this doctor, this American doctor that did,
Dr. Ben
Because
Carson.
yeah, Dr. Ben Carson. Yes, at least he walked into that surgery
he
room.
wasn't allowed to.
He shouldn't have been allowed to. He wouldn't have been allowed to if they knew that he wouldn't have been allowed to if they knew. But he went in, did the surgery, did
And was
everything,
successful.
and was successful. And when they called him to sit down, they told him, um, if it has gone wrong, you
He
will have
had to
been
take the
a
blame.
serious problem. But thank God it went right. That was the turning point in his life. But if he hadn't taken the bull by the horn that day to do it because he believed in
He might
himself,
not be where he is.
he might not be where he is today.
So,
So that's another very good
so if
point.
someone now saw him
So
when
in
he
in
before he
in
did
in
this,
essence, what we are saying is
No,
that
she's saying something,
if
and
someone now saw him before then, so they will not take advice from him. But he
exactly.
was actually successful. So
yes.
you
So in
never
essence,
know someone's
what we are
potential.
saying is that we should not look at the experience of anybody we want to take advice from. We should look at what can that person bring to the table.
You value the person's
Yes,
opinion.
what value is he bringing? How can we use his or her expertise to work? So for Elon Musk, I might want to take a marriage advice from him because he has failed in some cases. So he might know one or two things. Another person might not want to. So, but personally, I believe everybody has his own opinion, and we form our opinion. Then assumption is the lowest form of belief, and we assume a lot. I can assume that you don't know it. That's
But
why
you
I didn't
actually know
bother to.
it.
Yes, and you actually know it. He can assume I don't know it. And
But you know more than him.
so, or when you walk into somewhere, maybe you didn't go there with a car and you are going there to get, then you know what you can do with that business. They will look at you and tell you, oh, this one, this one
Doesn't
is
know
going to
anything.
take our money and boat. This one is not going to do any business. But that's why some people will go to the extent of going to hire a suit, going to
Fake
hire
it
a
till you make
car.
it.
Yes, fake it till you make it.
Make it.
So it's because of the human mind, the society we live in, the human mind, the way they value things, the way they look at things. They assume, assumption. That's what we do. That's why most people, at the end of the day, still fail.
So we've come to the end of this podcast today. I hope we have learned one or two things. Whatever you think it is, please give us your review or
Opinions.
your opinion in the comment section. Would really like to see it and have a further discussion on that. So till next time, we'll see you
They
again.
might not. They might also have their own opinion,
Perspective.
Yes, perspective. So
perspective on
yes,
because
New
we might not be
perspective. New
right.
perspective.
We might not be right in our own thinking too. We don't.
Perspective.
We are not saying we know everything.
Perspective.
We only know little from all these things. So give us your own opinion to what you think can be the solution of this kind of assumption people fall into.
Yeah. So thank you. So next time we come your way, subscribe, give us the like button, and we're looking forward to seeing you next time. Bye.
Bye bye.
Right?